Hey, how's everyone doing? Welcome to Sunday night's nice, chilled, relaxing stream as we watch Bitcoin absolutely crash through the floor over the past couple of hours. Hope you've all had a great weekend. Do make sure you drop a like on the stream. Let me know in the chat who we've got watching. And we'll just take a little quick look. Obviously, Sunday's stream is a little weekly roundup, looking into next week. Another Dave says, loving this drop. Hi, everyone, by the way. Hello, another Dave. How we doing, my good friend? Great to see you. How is everyone doing? Hope everyone's surviving and thriving. But we have absolutely nuked through the floor, haven't we, the past couple of hours? Another fantastic trade caught by Stonksy, and he had a double. This indication that I keep going on about with the background colour change, and then when you get the arrow shortly after, it strikes again, doesn't it? It strikes again. If we have a look at the 1 hour, you can see, past 3 hour candles, we just completely nuked. But where are we in terms of the daily? Well, the daily, we've now obviously fell out of this support range that we had, as you can see, anywhere around 81.5 to up to 82k was acting as support. But we do now, obviously, we're coming in towards the February low, where price respected on the daily closes. And then we do obviously have the March low as well. Zero with haste. What's the reason of that drop? There doesn't really need to be a reason for it, but I mean, I would say it's just snapping back into. So here it was held up. It was obvious that Bitcoin was being held up on Friday and Thursday, obviously relative to what was going on in TradFi. So whether you want to call it a snapback into correlation with them or whatever, doesn't really matter. It's pretty much just Bitcoin, the market doing its thing. Maybe you could call it catching up to what is actually happening in the world and obviously over in TradFi or whatever, but it's coming for liquidity is what it's doing, and it's not reached it yet. It could end one of two ways. US futures open soon. They open in 2 hours, yeah. And then, so US futures open in 2 hours, and I'm not sure what time Asia market opens, but it will be the next couple of hours, won't it? Maybe within the next 4 or 5 hours, something like that. I have some cash on the ready. Should I wait for tomorrow for better entries, you think? I mean, it's completely up to you, innit? Depending on what you think may happen. Sometimes with times of uncertainty like this, it can be better to maybe not, it can be better to not rush into any sort of decision. So, I mean, for me, where's the main liquidity? We'll have tons of liquidity below this 76, below the March low, right here. We'll have tons of liquidity here. We'll also obviously just have a big build up, anywhere in this range as well. But you've got to bear in mind, haven't you, the fact that we've got Asia markets to open overnight. You've then got we've got futures opening on the S&P and Nasdaq in the next 2 hours. So in times like this, it can be kind of, people can maybe rush to buy too soon. I'm not saying that this is too soon or whatever. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen. But am I bidding here? No, not yet. Anyway, I don't want to bid anything and then go to sleep tonight. I will not be interested in bidding anything and going to sleep tonight and then just seeing what happens overnight. I definitely want to be awake and being able to manage a trade. Do make sure you all drop a like on the stream now. And if you are new, do make sure you subscribe. We all should DCA by now, to be honest. I mean, depends what your outlook is, doesn't it? Depends what your outlook. If that's what the thing is, everyone has their own cash. Everyone can do what they want with their own cash, can't they? Happy Sunday, James. Hope you've had a great weekend, mate. We've got another Dave saying, interesting to see if we get a bounce in the markets tomorrow or another Black Monday. The interesting thing that I find is that pretty much the consensus trade now is that we're going to have a Black Monday. Isn't it? That is the consensus trade. Like everyone, like really, the whole mutual sort of feeling that I've seen anyway is that tomorrow's going to be awful. So is it going to be that bad? Is what I'm wondering. You're not going to try and catch a falling knife? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. But yeah, I mean, you know, we do have. So we've got February's low here, which obviously in March we swung fail that low. We've then obviously got the March low, so any liquidity that built up from during this, you know, the whole run up in March. Then we've obviously got the previous range high, which, you know, you can move it up towards 74k if you want to. And then we've obviously got the origin of the move, which is, you know, in and around 69k. Tied in obviously alongside with the 2021 all-time high. Can you give a quick analysis on Solana? Yeah, Solana, yeah. So we covered Solana. Solana, oh my, oh, look at Solana and ETH. They're getting battered. So yeah, Solana, very easy. Very, very easy. Obviously, we broke down out of this range. Now, when you get a breakdown out of a high time frame range like this, it can be pretty brutal. And normally, you know, people maybe can be too early to buy. I think you've got a few options here. Let me just draw it on. So you've got potentially $100. Obviously, big round number. You know, psychological level. Obviously, was the origin of the impulse move up. You know, we've moved up here, pulled back. That's where price settled, and then bang. You've got in and around the low 92s. This is where obviously price bounce settlement most of the time. And then we obviously do have this gap here in and around between mid 70s and, you know, 80s, early 80s. But, you know, obviously, you know, there's obviously a few different levels of interest there. Now, I would say that number one, it depends on what Bitcoin's going to do. If Bitcoin is maybe going to drop another couple of K and then bounce and then maybe, you know, launch a bid back in towards, you know, say the mid range of the current rate's been trading in or whatever, you know, if we get a serious bounce back on equities, you know, maybe even back towards, you know, late 80Ks, then obviously the market's going to follow it. But I think if you look at it from levels or just on Solana, I think most people that are wanting this scenario, aren't they? Most people are going to be wanting to buy in 70s, you know, maybe $80. I think it's potentially likely that we get a bounce at $100, but not my favourite currently, given where Bitcoin is. So I think maybe potentially in the low 90s, and then, you know, down towards 75-ish. Yeah. I mean, really, what you want is bullish back above here, So you want to reclaim of this level. Around $124, $125 is the level to reclaim. Bullish above there, currently bearish. So where do you want? You want to bounce from just any of these, any of these points. But I would say, if it comes into here, I think this is where most people probably are looking to bid, and probably has a big, buy wall in here somewhere, I would imagine, of stacked bids. But maybe gets front run by a pullback into the low 90s, and then goes up. Retrace it first. Yeah, to be honest, Dino, I wouldn't even be against that. I mean, that would make sense because, around 69k is the origin of the move. So pretty much Bitcoin would just be going back to a starting point. Sui getting ruined. Things are bad when OM is pulling you. I'll tell you what. We might adopt the motto of on this stream now. Should we just adopt the motto of when XRP is finally done its pullback, maybe that's when the bottom is? Maybe we should adopt that motto on stream. When XRP finally nukes 50% back in towards $1, maybe that's when the market is finally done with this correction. This thing, even is down 7% today, and with Bitcoin dropping below 79k, it's still not properly fully broke $2. It's just hanging on again, isn't it? So maybe we could adopt the motto that when XRP is finally nuked towards $1, maybe that's when the Bitcoin bottom is going to begin. Until then, this thing's being propped up and needs to collapse. Yeah, I mean, ETH is what's the ETH? So ETH is fast approaching my level. So for those of you that have been on the streams recently, I've obviously discussed about ETH potentially finding a high time frame bottom in here. But I mean, it's not even got that much room, has it, to go? It's only got another 5% to go towards, I was potentially looking at this being the worst case scenario for ETH, and it looks like it might be the best case if Bitcoin's nuking. We actually might see ETH drop towards 1300 if, big capital if with an asterisk around if Bitcoin isn't done and is going to nuke into maybe high 60s. Can you show XRP? I've just shown XRP, haven't I? Just shown XRP, but there it is again. But pretty much, still trying to hold on to this $2. Still trying to hold on to this $2 support level. Needs to break below $2. If it breaks below $2, I would probably say it's going back close towards $1. I imagine 50% pullback. Which you might say, well, what would cause 50% pullback on that if everything's already nuked load? It's not even started its correction, really. Yeah, it's had this deviation over stuff like that, but it's still in its same place that it was in December. Even Bitcoin is nowhere near that. So it's being propped up and being held up for ages. So I mean, Stewie, Stewie is getting ruled in it, women. Yeah, so I mean, levels to the downside on Stewie are definitely there. Link is, there you go. So obviously, again, this is what I've had mapped out on Link. As you can see, we was trading in this range, and then we've now, as you can see, we were holding it over the past few days. We were holding this level that I've been looking at. We're now nuked through it. So I mean, Link really should make its way towards $10 now potentially. I mean, hype is. Look at hype. Look at the state of this. This is horrendous. It's literally just in nuke mode, price discovery to the downside, isn't it? It is just price discovery to the downside. There's no support or nothing. So I mean, what do you do with a chart like that? Dot's in danger. Dot is now really retesting its high time frame lows. Yeah, I mean, is Tau. Tau now potentially coming in towards this little interruption here. So, I mean, anywhere potentially from like 125 to 150 on Tau, we could see pretty quickly. Again, another one being held up, now breaking below key support with not really much to the downside. But it might be time to nearly start bidding some altcoins. We might be coming in there soon. Who knows? Maybe altcoin season is where XRP dominance breaks down. I think probably we could estimate that once that capital is released. So if it drops 50%, then that's going to be a lot of capital released back into the market, isn't it? For people taking profits and just selling it. So I think it's probably more likely that maybe that's where the Bitcoin bottom lies, or the market, just general market bottom, is when that happens. But I mean, you've got to say, there's potentially some great opportunities coming up soon, isn't there? You know, with things just getting battered and battered and battered, if Bitcoin does find a bottom, then everything is probably going to get a nice little squeeze. You can imagine, like, if we do get the opportunity to maybe buy Sol in the 90s or wherever, Link at $10, Sui in and around. I've got highlights on Sui. Maybe 111 upwards. Is Ton. So yeah, Ton's coming all the way back to a starting point now. So I mean, if Ton gets back towards about 250, maybe even down towards 2, that potentially is a nice little trade on Ton. But I mean, it's brutal out there, isn't it? It's absolutely brutal. Oh, look at E-Gold, man. So E-Gold is now, here we go. So we've had this mapped out for ages. You can see how long we've had this mapped out on E-Gold since up here. I've not changed it at all. So since we've had this mapped out, so it must have been, would have been early March, wouldn't it, or wherever. So it has nearly dropped 35% since we mapped this out, coming into here. And then, so I had all the way down to 12 as a place for it to maybe bounce. But I mean, how eager are you to step into that? Potentially, we are going to see maybe a 60% drop on E-Gold from where we were looking at it into here. It's absolutely brutal, isn't it? Everything is just getting completely and utterly smashed to pieces. But Stonksy caught it perfectly. Stonksy caught it absolutely perfectly. So what would I expect from here? Given, I mean, this is very, if you look at the 5-minute chart, this was very controlled, this, wasn't it? It didn't happen in just one or two candles. This was a very, very controlled down, like fast, aggressive downtrend. See on the candles, very nice control. So maybe we get a dead cat bounce, I don't know. Maybe we just carry on nuking, or maybe we push up and then roll over. But to be fair, You've got to start asking the question, how much lower can some altcoins really go? Haven't you? They can always go, now they can always go lower. Of course, they can always go lower. But it is kind of perking my interest a little bit on some of them. Not yet. Bitcoin needs to find a bottom first. But yeah. Interesting. I mean, we'll see what we wake up to tomorrow. They're testing you. What do I keep saying? How much lower can altcoins go? Or well, for me, the lower they go, I mean, this is just completely a selfish point of view. The lower they go, the better, really. So I can bid them. But I mean, I would like, obviously, I know we discussed this last week, didn't we? I would like us to wake up to a sweep of the March low and a reclaim. What am I looking to get long? I think it's probably just the easiest thing to answer. What would I look for to get long from here? I would like a sweep of the March low. Let me get so I would probably put my stop loss down here somewhere. So I would like get long and forget about the take profit. Stop loss, they're irrelevant to me. I would like price to come in, sweep it. Maybe even get a capitulation wick. Who knows? Maybe we get a capitulation wick. I don't know. But either way, I'd like price to come in, sweep the March low, and the reclaim is key. It needs to reclaim because then all it's done is a liquidity sweep, and then you've got some form of invalidation there. Because then what you do is you bring in your stop loss and you take profit, and you say, okay, we swept the March low. We then reclaimed it. So was this just a liquidity sweep and a trap, a short? Then you can say, right, okay, so say for instance it's ticked down to here on the sweep of the March low. You can then say, okay, well, where do I want to put my stop loss? You know, maybe you put it below the wick, or I don't know, wherever you want, whatever. And you say, okay, well, what are we targeting to the upside? Now, if we do that, all we've done is sweat the low. Then you can really start saying, well, are we going to get now some serious move back into, say, the mid range or something? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they could. Really, right? I'm not being funny. Now, honestly, this isn't even a joke, right? I'm actually not even being funny here. And this isn't reactionary or anything. This is not reactionary because, obviously everyone that's going to streams know that we've been looking at this chart for ages. But you wouldn't actually be surprised to see ETH go down here. Like, who would actually be surprised to see ETH go down there? I wouldn't be. But it can go lower. I mean, that would be potentially another 25% drop on ETH from here. And that's just into this box. I don't even know why I put that outline. I mean, really, it's kind of maybe around them levels, isn't it? You wouldn't be surprised to see ETH do something like that. It can always go lower, Sol. If Sol was going to go back towards, mid-7, like $75 or something, that is another 25% drop. Could see a really big wipeout. We could see it. Another Dave says, I reckon 35k Bitcoin until Jerome gives. Well, that's just. That's just like a full bear market, isn't it? If we went to 35k, that's a full bear market. Jimmy says, sounds terrible, that audio. It's probably because I do the Sunday in streams just straight through my MacBook mic and not my actual setup like streaming mic. So when I stream Monday to Friday, I'm at the desk, and obviously I have like a proper microphone and stuff. On a Sunday evening, I'm only live for about 40 minutes, so I just use my MacBook to stream. But make sure you do come and join me through the week if you can. We do nice long streams through the week. As you can see here, we stream for 2 hours or over every single day, most days. Stream through US Open and stuff like that. So do make sure, if you are new to the channel, drop a subscribe. Please do drop a like on the stream as well. Yeah, do come and join me through the day. We stream an hour, roughly an hour, and maybe an hour and a bit before US Open, and then through US Open as well to cover the price action. So yeah, the prices can still go lower. I mean, the thing is, you've got everything really started to retrace now, haven't you? I mean, ADA has still got another. So ADA has still got another potentially 43% to go before it even comes back into full retrace of, that the election, which would bring it really nicely back into this range, to be fair, and obviously keep high time frame support around 32%. One day stream back again, probably mega with just be a mega stream. So yeah, I suppose we'll see, won't we? Keep saying, how much lower can prices actually go? Well, it can go lower, yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what happens to Link. We've never retested. Well, I think a lot of things actually haven't retested that happened. But that August bit, obviously we had this huge accumulation range on Link, like nearly 2 years, wasn't it? And then it broke out, and it's only actually ever back tested it once on that August bit move, which was a very quick bounce in and bounce back. It'd be interesting maybe to see if it can retest it from the upside. But we could get anything. I mean, maybe if we wake up tomorrow and Asia hasn't been that bad or harsh on Bitcoin, then maybe the worst has been over. Who knows? It's not necessarily guaranteed to get loads more pain, are we? Just a possibility. But it'll be really interesting. Yeah, do make sure you join our stream. It'll be great. We've got Justin on as we do every Monday. We'll be having a good look at this Bitcoin drop and obviously crypto-wide carnage, alongside whatever's happened in Asia market and what futures are doing before US Open. But it should be really interesting. I mean, yeah, some huge altcoin discounts already. Evening, yeah, as well. So that's good. Hello, Reggie, man. How we doing, my friend? Yeah, hope everyone's had a nice weekend. I hope Bitcoin hasn't ruined everyone's weekend. Now, the main thing is, this is actually quite serious. This is obviously, if you are doing any trading, do be very careful. Do be very careful. If you're trading, if you're trying to trade your way through this, do be very careful, because if you're trading on cross and you don't have a stop loss in, you can quickly find your account drained completely and obviously supporting a trade, or if you're trading through emotion, maybe if you're trading with whatever emotion, just be very careful because you get obviously some big volatility coming in this week, particularly obviously tonight, tomorrow. So just make sure, if you're doing any trades and stuff like that, you have your stop loss implemented. As I say, probably a safe recommendation would be to trade on isolated margin, isolated leverage through something like this. Indo made hubs, a good time to sell everything as the worst is yet to come. I mean, I can't give you any financial advice to make any monetary decisions like Indo. But I mean, if I was still holding everything, I'd be looking at this kind of like, why? In my opinion, it would be like, what's the point of selling here? Altcoins have been absolutely blown to bits, haven't they? The past couple of months, probably most altcoins are down at anywhere between 80 and 90%. Bitcoin's down over 30%. I mean, it could always get worse, but it could always be maybe close to the bottom. You just don't know. I mean, it's a really difficult question to try and answer, and obviously one I can't answer. I can't give you any advice. But I mean, altcoins have altcoins have dropped massively, so it's kind of like, is it? Are you capitulating? Are you maybe selling towards the bottom? I don't know. Well, I mean, Wizards obviously gave you. I find it really difficult when people ask me that because obviously you don't know people's position, do you? You don't know if they're actually selling profit. You don't know the average entries on things, what are they considering selling, all sorts like that. Obviously, alongside me not being a financial advisor, so. But yeah, I mean, the thing is as well, though, you can always feel like that, and it can just be through sheer emotion, can't it? It can just be the fact that there's obviously a lot of fear in the market now. Bitcoin's having a really bad day, altcoins getting slapped. But we all know as well, just to counter that if Bitcoin has a couple of percent up today, these altcoin moves are probably going to be likely reversed. So it just depends. So yeah, I mean, for me, it'll be seeing what we wake up to tomorrow. I think seeing what we wake up to tomorrow. I think if we deviate this March low, come down, liquidate it, and get back above and hold trading on the low time frame, I think that's a good time for me anyway. And then, yeah, I mean, I'm starting to really become maybe a bit interested in some altcoins. So we'll see. We will see. It will rebound in about 4 months. Yeah, I mean, September time. If we're gonna have, I mean, also, yeah, we are. We're coming into April, aren't we? So, we've not got long left before we hit summer. So it might just be the fact that we trade, and this is obviously another circumstance that we've said. Whether we come down here, whether we stay around here. I've said for a few weeks now, we might actually just trade within here. This might actually just be the new trading range. Obviously, we've kind of solidified this as more of a trading range up to now, between like sort of 88k and 70k or whatever. But obviously, if we come down here, then it's a different story, isn't it? But we yet to do that. So, you know, if we come down, look at it, go and then stay above, then we are pretty much just in a range trading environment. But I mean, if it does continue to the downside, we are probably going to have some great opportunities come our way, aren't we? You would imagine, anyway. There's anything 76,000 and a half for Bitcoin. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, it works with my plan. That works with my idea perfectly, actually. Yeah, March low, and then maybe we get back above. I wouldn't be against that idea at all, Zane. Yeah. Howdy, Steve-O. Yeah, make sure everyone does drop a like on the stream. Make sure you are subscribed. If you are watching on X as well, please do head over to the YouTube channel. It's in the X bio on the profile. And do please drop me a subscribe over YouTube. Make sure you come back to the stream. Tomorrow's stream will be great. Do not miss tomorrow's stream. We're going live about 1:30 UTC time. Maybe about 1 o'clock, actually. Probably about 1 o'clock. UTC. No, actually, not UTC time anymore, is it? It's so UTC time. So it'll be about 1:15, 1:12 UTC time. Asia dump, UK gonna dump, USA gonna dump, people wipe out for Steve. Steve expecting more downside. I mean, yeah, why not? Why not? We'll have to see, won't we? We'll have to see. It's going to be interesting tomorrow. This is going to be a fascinating week. And you know what? This is another thing to remember. Is currently we're living through, you know, a part of history and a part of history in the market that will be, you know, look back on as one of the most significant. You know, we've had the biggest 2-day drop on the market since COVID. Obviously, given the fact that the circumstances around the tariffs and stuff like that. So just make sure that, you know, you kind of approach it as a fact of really think about how you can maybe take advantage of this one way or another, because we don't get these events too often. You know, you don't get an utter bloodbath on the S&P 500 2 days in a row often. You know, if we push down on Bitcoin, you know, maybe we're pushing down into some key opportunities. Just make sure maybe you take a step back and just look at the market and say, okay, how can I best benefit from this one way or another? Steve says going to be a hell of a Monday. I mean, the thing is, that is the consensus trade, isn't it, though, as well? That's one thing that kind of worries me in terms of anticipating more downside. I think everyone is kind of on board with the fact it's going to be a horrendous Monday. Is it actually going to be that bad? I don't know. We'll have to see, won't we? We can only trade what we see. But I mean, no doubt, if it is really bad, then it only brings in opportunities, doesn't it? So, another Dave says he's going to explore to get back above 80k. I mean, we probably will see a dead cat bounce, as I mentioned before, won't we? You would imagine, because when you get there, I mean, this was very controlled, very like put down on someone's terms. It wasn't just like a couple of candles, you know, as if someone was market selling it. This was very controlled to downside. So maybe we stick around and then dump, or maybe get a bit of a squeeze back up and a dead cat and then maybe back down, you know. But I'm not hedging my bets on on this being the bottom at all. We'll see what we wake up to tomorrow, won't we? It's going to be an interesting week, that's for sure. So yeah, do make sure you come back to the streams every day this week. We'll be covering all the action, and it's going to be absolutely fascinating to see how it plays out. Yeah, I think that's all for me tonight. Nice little talk. Well, of course, it was a great time, didn't we? We just had some bad time I've done live. So yeah, big thank you to everyone who's joined. Hope you've had a great weekend. Do remember as well, if you're feeling a bit of, emotional in the market or angry or whatever, go for a walk, take a step back and really think about your next move and be really careful on the leverage and every decision that you make. Gustavo says, amazing streams. Well, Gustavo, please do come back to the stream through the week if you love them. I go live for over 2 hours every day. And be live for US Open every day as well. So, yeah, thank you very much for your time, word. And yeah, hope to see you back in the streams more regularly. So, yeah, enjoy your evening, everyone, and catch you tomorrow to see what develops. Obviously, overnight, and then looking forward to watching US market open on stream. Ciao for now. See you then.